Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment, Land & Sea Motorsports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Frank Jagata and Joe Waddell. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good, jerkface. How about you?
Wow.
I'm doing all right, doofus.
I did not expect that.
That was part of the Sunday conversation. We were just teasing how you're always called jerkface or doofus.
Oh, yeah. No,
on
that's
a social media setting.
On all social media posts, you're either jerkface, doofus, or asshole.
Or the dog.
Or the dog.
The dog is Stinky McWigglebutt.
Yes, that's what he is.
So we figured we were just going to steer into it, and we were going to call you by your nicknames.
That's fair. I can't even argue with that. Even if I wanted to, I can't argue with that.
It was a very quick, well-laid plan that I don't even think Frank thought we were going to follow through with until I just did it. But then
It was one of those things where I was driving here, and I was like, I'm going to call Joe, and I'm going to tell Joe we're a full go on this. And then I was like, I'm just going to wait and see if he does it.
it was honestly just a joke we talked about on Sunday, talking about football. We never talked about it after that. It was like a quick joke.
It was hey, let's call Chris jerkface and doofus. Okay, let's do it. Done. Back on to football.
And then up until now, we hadn't talked about it again. But I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to follow through with it.
Well, that's well done in your guys' part. Honestly, very impressive. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Nice work.
We can pull off surprises when literally we both forget that we were pulling off a surprise.
Well, honestly, I'm glad you guys said that, because that actually leads us into what we're here to talk about is like jerk faces and doofuses. The team that with the hat that you're
insult
wearing right now.
yourself associating those names with that team, please.
Yeah, fair enough.
They don't even deserve that.
But yeah, we'll talk about those fucking clowns and the debacle that took place in Pittsburgh this past weekend.
So,
arguably the worst football game ever played in Pittsburgh this past weekend.
Yeah.
I guess.
Frank, go.
Yeah.
Hit it.
So I had a deal, and that deal was 4 wins and a new coach or a new quarterback by week 7 of next year.
Yeah.
And that is off the table.
Oh, all right.
I'm done.
You're done.
After that atrocity, until Dan Campbell and Jared Goff are no longer a combination on this team, I'm done.
What if one of them are on the team?
If Jared Goff is the starting quarterback and Dan Campbell is the coach taking the field on Sunday, I will not. As long as that's the combination, I'm not watching.
What if?
And I understand that Blau might play this weekend, whatever. No, I'm not watching.
This is very open-ended. I'm done.
It kind of is, because you're not fully done.
Yes, I'm not fully done. But what it's doing is
This is
essentially
like you with Harbaugh. It's open-ended.
Yes, I will reevaluate my position on this team when they make the right decision. Move on from. They should move on from both of them. But I understand they're not going to move on from both of them.
No,
so
do it as a 6-year fucking contract.
move on from Goff and let's see what happens. If they go into next year with both of them there, then we're just riding through next year. No football. Well, no Lions football.
No Lions football, yes, because you have like 8,000 other teams that you root for.
Yeah, but even as I was saying earlier, fucking OBJ has ruined the Rams. That took all of one day to happen.
I think they were struggling before he
His
got there.
his
but,
no.
yeah.
they struggled the last week, but
it's
his
really not fun to talk about it that
Yeah.
way, though.
But
it's more
his-
fun to just blame it on OBJ.
his dad already posted a video of that one miss that Stafford missed him on. So
Like that defense looks like Swiss cheese. It's horrendous.
it is
defense.
Yeah,
not
it
very
looks
good.
terrible.
Well, and so listen, they're on the third defense coordinator in 3 years. The other two have gone on to better jobs, head coaching jobs, and Raheem Morris was talked about as going to be a head coaching candidate. If you keep coaching that defense like that, you're not going anywhere other than the unemployment line.
Exactly.
The Raiders, I mean, I don't want to make any bad punny jokes, but they're terrible the last 2-3 weeks. Everything that happened with Gruden, they've gone down the shitter.
What would have been the bad punny joke? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know where that. What,
I really would have liked to have heard this bad punny joke
It
because
was going to
listen.
be something along the lines of Ruggs really killed that team.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
that would have been it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is awkward.
Right.
Oh.
But that's just because
right.
you asked.
Yeah. Sorry,
like-
I asked.
I would like the record to show that I did think better of it for once in my life than
Nicely
to
done.
not say what was on
Right.
I am sorry
Yeah.
I asked.
Yes.
Oh.
But, yeah, moving on from that one.
I was gonna say back to the shit stain of an organization that plays football in this city.
They're just, and we were laughing about it, and I partially was joking with you, Chris, in the text message you sent saying, if the Lions win this weekend, you were going to wear Lions gear.
I would have absolutely paid up on that. I would have.
I would have put on that helmet for the entire show.
Yeah, we talked about that on Sunday as well.
I mean, that really does nothing for me, but I do kind of want to see you do a show wearing a football helmet the entire time. Like, I don't even care that it's a Lions helmet. I would just love to see you wear the helmet the whole. You and that, Chris in the baseball helmet. We'll just sit here.
I
You
would
guys
have
can-
I would have done this entire show in that Lions helmet, signed by TJ Lang. I got to throw that out there because that's the only reason it's on the table.
Literally the only reason why
yes.
that's on the table.
I would have worn that the entire show.
Yeah. So, hearing those things, yeah, that kind of led me towards wanting to watch a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it was Sunday. I was off of work. I was probably watching that game either way. Then hearing Goff Roethlisberger had COVID. He wasn't playing. More of a reason to watch. But I was having fun with a lot of the other stuff, talking about how, this was going to suck, and I know how this ends, and Chris, I'm blaming you for all of this.
Because you deep down thought they're going to win.
I'm not going to say I thought they were going to
You
win.
100% thought they were going to win.
You thought they had a really
I can definitely say 100% was never on the table at any point. This team and 100% do not exist in my reality.
No, but the thought was there that this was going to be their first win because no Ben.
See, and I wish I could say that I had the thought they were going to win, but at no point did I actually think they were going to win that game. Even playing that game, I didn't think they were going to win that. Like, I wanted them to. I was just sitting there praying for them to do one thing right. That's all they had to do.
They did. They didn't lose.
They didn't lose.
That's not right.
They can no longer go 0-17.
And then the Lions honks will have you believe that's a victory of some sort.
No.
It's like,
and
seriously? That's why this...
I'm
that's-
not going to speak for the two of you. We've all grown up playing sports. A tie is the one thing that I'm never okay with.
No,
I
ties suck.
hate it.
Ties are dumb.
Like, there's no reason for it. They shouldn't
Ties
exist.
should not exist.
Like, I would, in the effort of talking about hockey, since we have the Leafs game on, I would rather see you just continuously play until there's a winner decided. Don't switch anything. Just keep going.
Just go to the college rules.
Even
like,
that,
what's
if
wrong
we're
with-
going to do a
just-
25-yard push,
Yeah.
I'm down
Do
for
the
that.
college rules.
I said that.
These assholes miss fucking extra points all the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
They
Well,
missed
and in
three
college,
of them
don't
in
you?
the fucking game.
Well, and in college, don't you after a certain amount of
I think
overtime,
the
don't you
second
have
overtime, you have to go
got to
for
go
two.
to the yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm all for the NFL adopting something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly, but something along the lines of that for overtime to just make sure that there are no ties.
And especially with the
ties.
NFL, the ties happen so rarely in the NFL. Like, you don't get out of overtime
Well, that's the thing.
usually
Ties
with a tie
happen
game.
so rarely in the NFL that a lot of players don't even know that there are ties.
Okay, but that's also
Najee Harris said that. He's like, wait, we can tie?
but that's also bad. Didn't Donovan McNabb
Yeah,
say that
he
one
had no
time
idea.
too? So, that's just insane to me. If you're an NFL football player, how do you not know there are ties?
Yeah, you can.
I just
you know that it's going to end that way sometime,
Right.
But Should they happen? No.
No, hell no.
We can go to a 25-yard playoff.
I say do it from the 35.
35.
35. And then go from there.
Because even at the 35,
each
that
team-
makes for what, 52-yarder?
See, for me,
If you get no yards?
Each team gets a chance regardless. You score a touchdown or a field goal, whatever. Each team gets a chance regardless.
yeah, for me, I would do it in tiers. I would start at the 25,
Oh,
move it back to the 35,
Okay.
move it back to the 45. Like I would do it in tiers.
Okay.
And after that first overtime,
I like it, but flip it.
where you start at the
Start-
50?
start-
Start further back.
Or start-
if you can't do
Where
that,
are you
then
gonna
you move
start at?
forward.
Start at like
Start
the 20?
at the 40,
That-
45, whatever. If you can't score, then move up. I would just say if you can't score from the 40 the next time, I don't think you're scoring from the 50 either.
right? But in that case, one of those teams will end up scoring something. One of those teams will end up winning. If you continuously move it back, one of those teams will fuck up at a certain
Yeah,
point.
somebody's gonna miss a field goal. You know
and,
what's happening.
And after that first overtime at the 25, when you move back to the 35, no extra points. Only 2-point conversions. So again, those are harder to get as well.
Right.
So at that point, even if both teams score a touchdown, both teams then have to convert their 2-point conversion, which is more difficult. Although this year it looks like extra points are more difficult
no shit.
kicking them. But to me,
Especially this past weekend.
this year
This year in
kickers
general,
have been
man.
fucking brutal this year.
Yeah, they've been bad.
But to me, that I would do that. That is my pitch and my proposal to the NFL, which they will never hear and never examine.
I mean, I love it. I think it's a great idea.
And in all honesty, I would hope somebody would have made that pitch by now. It's a really easy solution.
It is.
It's very
have
obvious.
you seen how the NFL's run?
Well, and that's
Aside from their marketing and the fact that they are the number one sport,
Yeah, they
in,
don't-
in the United
And
in
the
the
funny
world.
thing is, they don't even have to market. They
they
don't.
don't.
they're like an weird comparison. They're like an old school dad. They don't want to hear your ideas unless they're their own.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because
Like,
they're
that's
the
just
smartest
all
guy
they
in the room.
want.
Yeah,
Right.
they're the smartest guy. Yeah.
And we did get a shout out here from Steve,
Steve!
from Baldman Entertainment.
What's
he
up,
says,
buddy?
He says it's not raining, snowing, or weathering outside.
it was
yet.
actually a nice day today.
Yeah, but he goes, it's still early. So
That's true.
listen, it could still be
I was
pouring.
gonna say it was dark at like 4:00.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it was a nice day today. But of course, when we're doing our fantasy show on Sunday, shout out 10:30 in the morning on Sundays. Give us a listen. Of course, it was snowing. It was nasty out. It was snowing.
Oh, it snowed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
shit.
snowed the entire show.
Yep.
Yep.
It was weathering.
And it was just like, I kid you not. Like I feel like every show we do, whether it be at Tuesdays or Sundays, it's weathering outside.
I mean, there was
Well,
Joe
the
and I
weather
were talking
outside
about
is
it.
weather.
There was like a 6-week run where every time Joe and I left here, we would stand at the door,
right.
and just go, "Well, all right, buddy, good seeing you. We got to run."
Gotta fucking go.
We gotta get a torrential downpour, but
Yeah.
we'll make it.
And every week it was worse than the week before. It was
Right.
like, where's all this rain coming from? I don't
I was
understand
just
this.
like, okay, so yeah, this is
We also got a message from Lady Friend
Oh.
about the pet names for Chris.
about calling doofus.
about calling Jerkface Doofus,
Doofus.
and calling Doofus Jerkface. Yes.
Gotcha. What'd she say?
Her pet names for you. So
Right,
she
right.
yeah.
What'd she say?
She just said my pet names for Chris.
Oh, yeah.
That's all she said.
Yeah.
Which we had gathered at this point, which is why we
I mean,
had
I'll-
this very poorly hatched plan that
I'll keep my pet names for her to myself.
it's probably a good idea.
Do it.
We'll just use
Hey, I just throw out my bad pun. Go ahead. Can't be any worse.
we'll just use our own pet name for her and call her Lady Friend still.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Steve says Joe can be Fluffer Nutter.
Fluff. What?
I don't Steve, I don't know why I read that.
What does that even mean?
what does that mean?
Fluffer nutter. Is that like some sort of cookie or something?
I don't know. Steve, can you clarify?
I mean, if you're gonna take control of the show like this, Steve, you got to keep going,
listen,
man.
You just derailed the entire show with that nickname there. Reaction of Screwball.
Wait, what? Is that like the vodka that screwball vodka?
Yeah.
Screwball ice cream. You remember the little pink ice cream cone that had the gumball at
Like
the bottom?
the actual pitch? Like the actual
The little
pitch?
screwball.
Yeah. I
I don't know.
got nothing on this one.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Whiskey.
Whiskey. Okay, screwball whiskey. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
So
Is that the one that tastes like
right.
peanut butter?
Fluffer Nutter is a reaction of Screwball whiskey.
fluffernutter, like peanut butter.
Okay,
Gotcha.
got it now.
Okay. We got another text.
Oh, the shit I tried on Friday. He says the shit you tried on Friday, man. Focus. Aha.
Got it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was.
Do you
Peanut-
have stories about Friday or
No,
something?
I went over to help them out with their podcast, Time
Right.
Out. By the way, shout out to Time Out.
give them a
podcast
listen.
with Steven Scott. But yeah, so I went over there to help him out with that, and he had me try a whiskey that was it was like a peanut butter. It was damn good. I'm not a huge drinker anymore, so I instantly had the I don't drink a lot like ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I had it about a year, almost 2.5 years ago, something like that, and it was different. Like I was like, okay, what? I mean, if I'm gonna drink whiskey, I'm just gonna drink straight up whiskey. But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad for what it was. It was. I think it's like just when it came out too.
Yeah, I mean it had a good flavor.
Yeah. I was like, if you're gonna make whiskey taste like peanut butter, all right. Cool, man. I mean,
I kind of would prefer just Crown on the rocks.
Right.
But I mean, I hadn't tried it before. I tried it. I was like, all right, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm sure it. That opened up the senses a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so back to just talking about one comment here about weather, and we
ended up with whiskey.
We just derailed completely.
Yeah.
But that's what we do.
Yeah.
That is true. That is kind of what we do.
So, lady friend says it's a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich is a fluffernutter. Okay.
Thank you, Stat Girl.
Yeah. What? Ooh, wow. Oh.
Yikes.
Lady friend, he just completely insulted you there. I don't want to start anything, but that was a complete insult, and I apologize on his behalf. That's awful.
Yeah, don't ever refer to Lady Friend as Stat Girl
the,
again.
The previous comments are not a reflection of all of Sports on Tap.
Oh man.
And I didn't even give that warning for Frank over here in his Henry Ruggs fucking comment.
You did not.
You asked me to say it.
I instantly regretted that.
I'm surprised over the course of almost 15 years of knowing each other, you should know that if I stand up and say, hey, I'm not going to say something, there's probably a good reason I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I probably should have just let that go. Oh, she says she gives you the middle finger and says, I know he did. She says, I know about Stat Girl.
Oh, she does.
So, so she knew that was an insult. And again, on behalf of Joe and Frank, we sincerely apologize for Chris's outburst.
Yeah.
So,
My outburst.
anyway,
We would just like to continue this working relationship
Yeah.
that we have.
So anyway, back to the Lions.
Yes.
I have a couple things I want to throw out there about,
Of course.
about Clown. And I guess I'm just going to refer to him as the Clown from now on because
yeah.
I should have referred to him as that from day one, which we kind of did. Both you and I have referred to him as the
We
Clown
have, yes.
several
I
times.
kind of like where you guys went with it at first, though. In all honesty, if I can just be a little
Yeah.
picky about nicknames here, you guys had it spot on, and we talked about this on Sunday.
Oh, the promo I cut for him?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Just call him Macho Man at this
yeah.
point. Like, just call him Macho
Ooh,
Man.
brother.
He's the Macho Man. That's what he is.
He's like a combination of the Macho Man.
I need to see him wear those
Hogan.
glasses though. If he wears like those glasses,
Oh,
that'd be the
100%.
Yeah.
fucking best thing ever.
I would say he's
Yep.
got a little Piper in him. Little Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was
Don't
always
disrespect
angry.
Roddy Piper like that.
But he
Yeah.
was always angry, and DC seems angry. So, we got a little bit
Other
of
than-
that.
Except
in
when
there.
he was crying.
I was gonna,
Yeah, except that part.
that's I was
Which,
just gonna
oddly
say
enough,
that.
I was very happy to see this weekend. No crying. No crying took place
No,
whatsoever.
he literally
because he's been lionized.
well, and
He was
li-
lionized this week.
well, and he literally laughed at the press conference about talking,
I didn't even watch that.
talking about his starting quarterback being injured and still being in the game. He literally laughed.
Yes, and it's things like that lead me to where I'm at now, as far as just being done with them.
Right.
As far as this current I almost feel it's unfair to the other 52 people on that roster to hold them responsible for their coach and their quarterback, and the fact that neither one of them know what the fuck they're doing anymore.
That's what I loved
or
about
to
the,
begin
I'm sorry,
with.
No,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
Or even to
I was gonna say,
begin with.
what I loved about that game is it was gift wrapped for you, and you didn't take it.
Like 5 times.
I was going to say 6, but yeah.
B,
you get the point.
Like you had a successful running game, which was great, and then once Pittsburgh made adjustments to stop it, you know your infinite wisdom, because you're a fucking idiot, said no, we're gonna keep doing that. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Went full Harbaugh on him.
yeah, it's like no, we're gonna keep doing it, and it's like
full stubborn coach.
great.
Bound to work one of these times. We'll just keep doing it.
Oh my god.
Well, and in his infinite wisdom, you have an injured quarterback. You have admitted it since then. He was injured on the field. You could clearly see he was injured on the field.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad they came out and said that, because I was just starting to think, like I said to you both at one point, like props to Sean McVay for bullshitting his way through a couple years with this guy, because that was the most atrocious fucking quarterbacking I've ever seen.
Well, listen, Goff is not good, but he was injured. And when it comes down to it, they have now said that he's so injured, he might not play this week. Timeout. You're in a game where you're trying to win, right? And you're not trying to play for a tie, or you're not trying to play for a loss to get a better draft pick. You want to win. You cried at a press conference because you wanted your players to win. And he goes out there with an injured quarterback who is so injured that a week later he might not play. But you don't pull him out of the game because your backup quarterback gives you a better chance to win? Why not? Is your backup quarterback there just to hold a clipboard and look pretty? Like what is he there for?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know David Blau's not the long-term answer. He's the third string quarterback. I know Nick Boyle's actually the backup, but when it comes down to it, he gave you the better chance to win on Sunday because your starting quarterback, who isn't good anyway, was injured on the field. So injured, I'm going to repeat this, so injured that he might not play a week later. How do you not pull him out of that game and put in David Blau? Because you're a fucking clown. You're a joke. You're a joke, and everyone sees through it now.
And it's decisions like that on why I can't continue with the original deal. I'm not even going to judge this team off of what is going on right now is just such a fucking mess.
Yeah.
That I'm crumpling it up, throwing it out. Whenever they decide to get this shit back together, I'll judge them based on whatever they put together.
For your sake, I pray to God, and for our sake, Chris, you and I.
Again, we discussed it.
I'm
talking, this has got to happen like end of this season, some point early next season. I'm not sitting here long term going, 5 years from now they finally decide to fire Dan Campbell. No, if this goes past 2 years,
I have a hypothetical question for you, but first I'm going to pose this. I hope, for our sake of talking points, and Frank, for your sake of giving up on this fucking loser-ass franchise, that next season they open the season with the combination of Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. I pray
I have full
that
faith
happens.
That's what's going to happen.
I pray that happens because I want you to distance yourself from this fucking team. But here's a hypothetical question. Say after the season's over with, Jared Goff becomes backup and they get somebody else to be the starting quarterback. Still head coach is still Dan Campbell the clown.
Goff's not starting. That's good enough for me.
Wow. That's why it's such an open-ended.
It's a good enough place to start. I'm not saying that I'm going to jump right in, be sitting on the couch watching, Sunday football 17 straight weeks, just in the hopes that no. If Dan Campbell is still coaching the same bullshit-ass way that he's coaching right now, if Jared Goff's still a quarterback on that team, this is essentially the same team. I'm not going to sit here and continue to throw support behind something that clearly is not working at this point. It was one thing when we were sitting there going, okay, well, they had
They're
nothing,
playing
but
hard.
maybe next year.
They're playing hard.
This is a team that a handful of years ago fired a coach who went 11-5.
Well, in one season he did, I believe. He went 9-7 the year.
He went 10-6. 10-6, 97.
10-6, 9-7.
So.
Okay, 10-6, 9-7.
And he went 7-9 the year before they fired him, or the year they fired him, and 7-9 wasn't good enough.
Regardless, there was at least a 1 in the win column. But we fire Jim Caldwell in the efforts to move on to the next step. And I fully believe that team had to take the next step at that point.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah, go for it.
This is not Lions related. It's hockey related. I'm telling you, Austin Matthews has the best wrist shot since Joe Sakic. He does.
I have to check this out real quick.
His wrist shot is just Unbelievable.
I don't know. Rensky's last night was beautiful.
No, I agree with you, but look at this.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Snipe.
Yeah. It's just, it's so just quick. Just it reminds me of Sakics.
It really does.
But hey, sorry to jump off.
No,
topic,
you're
but
right.
I just seen that. I had to.
When
I
you're
had
going to compare
that.
a shot to a Joe Sakic shot,
Yeah.
you stop what you're doing to watch. It's like if you looked at me and said, "Oh, this guy takes snapshots like Brett Hull did." Okay, well, I don't give a fuck what we're talking about. I'm paying attention.
So, Jim Caldwell, 11-5 first year,
Not good enough.
7-9,
Okay.
9-7,
Not good enough.
9-7.
Not good enough. And playoffs twice.
Yes, playoffs twice.
Not good enough.
Lost to Seattle in the NFC wildcard game. Lost to Dallas Cowboys in the NFC wildcard game.
Not good enough.
So you
No.
move on from this guy to get your team to the next level, which Joe and I discussed this also. I fully believe that sometimes you have to take a step in a direction you know is not the right direction, but it's a step closer to the right direction than you've been taking. And that's what Jim Caldwell was. You go from there to a coach who actually knows what the hell he's doing. No, you go to Matt Patricia.
Which did
A first-time head coach.
Yes.
That's exactly where you're leading me to. It was like you go from a guy who got you to the playoffs twice, and 3 of the best seasons you have ever had as a franchise, and you pick a guy who's never been a head coach.
Yep.
In the league.
Yep.
That is, if that's not lying ask, I don't know what.
And
it
then
is.
from that, you go to a GM that has never been a GM, and you go to a
And
head
the
coach.
whole time you're continuing to regress.
And you
you're
go-
at no point getting better,
Well, and
which is what you set out to do.
One with this head coach, you went to a head coach that not only has never been a head coach, first-time head coach, he had never been a coordinator,
yeah,
and now he's calling your plays.
I'm not going to sit here and say that, hey, you shouldn't have gotten rid of Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia
you
was
got-
what
of
he
course.
was.
And-
And you had to make that decision.
Frank, and in
But
hindsight,
I
you
also
had to-
want to point out, though, look at the decisions he's made with New England. I'm not saying he's fully responsible for what's going on in New England, but he's a part of it.
And
They're
it-
at least moving in a positive direction. You got rid of him to go to this guy. At some point, you have to notice that you have completely scrapped something that at one point was feasible to be a winning team, and you have stripped it down to absolutely nothing.
bare bones.
You got, and I'm not trying to talk shit about the guy because, in all honesty, I love the way this dude plays football. He's not a starter in the NFL by any means, but Alex Anzalone. I'm watching this guy out there. He's busting his ass week after week, and he's playing some decent football. But he's the bright spot on your team. A guy who probably wouldn't even be a backup on another team. He'd probably be cut on most rosters.
or it's just like a depth guy or something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
100%, yeah.
But I'm watching him out there.
But
He's
he's your
busting his ass
starter.
every fucking week. He's the only leadership I see on that team.
Right.
You got guys like Taylor Decker who are just out there running his mouth about the fucking fans. Like,
That was funny.
it just irritates the shit out of me because am I wrong with what I said to you yesterday, though?
No.
Penei Sewell accomplished more in one game
Yeah.
than Taylor Decker has in his entire career. And we're really sitting here having a conversation over whether Penei Sewell should be a left tackle or the guy that you're paying to be your left. No, you should pay him to be whoever the fuck he can be on your team. And in this case, he's your right tackle.
All right. Frank, I can't disagree with you on that.
I don't disagree on that either.
Like, you were given 2 extra steps and weren't even called for a false start and still had to hold the guy so he didn't sack your quarterback. The right side of the line had no issues, it didn't seem like.
Well, and I want to throw out here that we're definitely not saying that Caldwell should still be here because
No.
it was the right move. Listen,
I'm saying between him, Patricia,
Yeah.
and what you have now, it's clear he was the best option. So to
he
fire
was.
him to get something better, and your better is Matt Patricia and
He had,
Dan
he had
Campbell.
plateaued.
the moves were clearly
did.
He
the moves
plateaued.
were clearly wrong. But the move to let him go to get better was the right move. They just didn't make the right move
Right.
to get better. So it's the decision-making process. The only decision in that whole scenario that I agree with is the getting rid of Jim Caldwell because
It's
it
time
was
to take the next
it was
step.
clear he had gotten you to where he could get you, and you needed someone to take you that next level. But in order to do that, you don't go after a first-time head coach. I just that was the bad move to me, and it was the right move to do to get rid of Caldwell and move to the next level. The problem is they took a step down, not a step up. That's the issue.
Bottom line, does this team win a game this year?
No.
It's really hard to sit here and say that they have a realistic shot at winning any games this year.
Although from what I've heard this week, they're going to beat Cleveland this week.
Unless OBJ comes back to Cleveland, I don't see how that
Joe,
happens.
I think if that does happen,
Yeah.
I think you have to wear the helmet.
If that happens, I'll wear that helmet.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, the entire show.
And I'd make a deal, but that's like just giving you money for a bet. So. I mean, I know you'll take it, but it's not worth it for me.
Well, with that being said, the reason people are saying, oh, it's Cleveland, and two, Baker Mayfield's not going to be playing. They think they're down to their third string running back. Their defense is a sieve most of the time now because their defense coordinator is a fucking jackass. But even with that being said, they're still going to beat your Lions. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I don't mean your Lions. I'm talking to the
No,
fans.
yeah, no,
I'm
I
talking to the
understand.
fans who've been talking shit ever since Sunday, and their miraculous tie against Pittsburgh. Been saying, well, that's all right. They're going to get their first win this week against the lowly Cleveland Browns. They're still better than your franchise.
And in all honesty, even if the Browns lose this game, they're still the better franchise. Like, a win for Detroit this weekend does absolutely nothing to change anything.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like on Sunday, I was like, the Lions should thank God that Mason Rudolph was the Steelers quarterback that game because they would have lost again. Mason Rudolph is a third string quarterback. I'm sorry, that's what he is.
With the way they played, I don't doubt they would have lost that or tied that game with Haskins in there.
Yeah. Who?
The guy who was checking his phone during warm-ups.
And throwing awful passes,
Yes.
apparently.
Like,
I think they would have tied him.
I remember when he got bounced from Washington, and people were like, oh, he made a mistake, gotta give him a second chance, dude. You don't fucking get it.
He's OBJ who never had talent.
You don't get it, man. You can't be doing that shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was the head coach and I saw that, if I was Tomlin, I'd be like, dude, get out.
I think the only reason he
You're
didn't
done.
do that right now with Mike Tomlin, and Mike Tomlin's a guy that seems to be one of the last of the old school mentality type coaches who will literally look at a guy and just be like, get the fuck off my field.
Right.
I think if Roethlisberger was even somewhat close to being healthy, he probably would have done that.
Yeah. Just get out. Like you clearly don't take your career seriously. And there's a reason why you're like a third string quarterback in this league when you have the talent to be a first string quarterback is because you don't take it fucking serious.
Right.
You do this shit. Oh my God, that would drive me nuts. Like, no, we have no need for you on this team. Get out. But
Yes, I agree with that.
it's what it is. But
And
So Andrew just sends me this, not to cut
no,
you off.
No, go ahead.
So it's a picture of OBJ. It says OBJ's last game with the Browns, 1 reception for 6 yards. OBJ last night, 2 receptions, 18 yards. Yep, Baker was the problem.
well, it is funny that people were like, especially Lions fans, they were like hammering Stafford last night. And granted, he didn't have a very good game.
No.
But his receivers did
No,
not fucking help him one bit.
Listen,
Stafford looked right at home there.
But there was so many drop. Like I'm not kidding. Even Cooper Kupp dropped 2 last night. That I was seeing some of the passes that were being dropped. And don't get me wrong, you're right. Stafford didn't have that great of a game last night. But when it comes down to it, those receivers didn't help him out one fucking bit.
they did not.
Higbee dropped a couple. One of them was the pick six.
Yep.
That offensive line also wasn't doing such a hot job keeping people from the back.
That's true.
There were points, and we were talking about, there were points Stafford was getting rid of that ball within the 7 seconds that you want the
And that was the
quarterback
thing.
to
It
hold
was just like,
But there were times where he was running for his life.
Yeah, and it's not to make excuses for Stafford, but again, okay, so his first interception, a complete misran route by OBJ, which that's
Big surprise.
That's similar from what I've seen over the last couple of years. And the one that was a pick six went in and out of the hands of Higbee,
which was thrown right to him.
Right. So honestly, for either one of those, if as a Lions fan you're getting off on saying Stafford sucked,
Oh, they were.
they were.
Oh, yeah.
But if you really
These are
look at it,
probably also the same Lions fans, though, that were getting off on the fact that Stafford was probably going to go win a Super Bowl this year.
if you're actually knowledgeable about football and you watch football and you saw that game, you cannot just blame Stafford for that pick six or either one of those interceptions. Truthfully, Odell misran the route completely, and that's why that first one got picked. And his tight end, the ball went in and out of his hands.
Yeah.
He couldn't have hit that tight end anywhere else,
It's going to be
other than maybe
easier-
in the face mask.
Right.
At some point, it's going to be easier to talk about the few runs that Odell runs that are correct than it will be to talk about the ones he runs wrong.
Seriously. I had conversations with people about that, and they were like, "No, man, Baker just missed him. Didn't you see that video?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw the video of passes being thrown that were not where he was at. But again, did you see the route he was supposed to run as opposed to the route he actually ran?"
Right.
I was going to say, if you want my honest opinion on that, and Joe,
Well, obviously,
traditionally,
why would we
you've-
want your honest opinion?
I mean,
Lie to us.
I would want nothing.
Lie
but
to us.
Lie to me.
So when it comes to the OBJ thing, OBJ was able to be OBJ when he had Eli Manning. I think Baker's a better quarterback than Eli was. And that's saying a lot about a guy who beat the greatest dynasty in sports twice in the Super Bowl. But let's be honest, Eli wasn't anything special. I think Baker is a better quarterback than even Eli was. The only thing that Baker doesn't have that Eli had is the offensive line.
Baker is, they should have the offensive line.
They should.
They've had injuries this year. But
Right.
when it comes down to it, Baker's the kind of guy that throws to a spot, right? He's become
Mm-hmm.
the kind of guy that throws to a spot. He goes through his reads and he throws to a spot. And when he was thrown to OBJ, he was never at that spot. He had to always.
He's a Tom Brady type quarterback.
He had to always turn and try and find where he was and try to throw it to the spot that he was at, as opposed to turning and throwing it to a spot where he was supposed to be.
Right.
And that's what that video doesn't show. And everyone that watched that video just goes, "Oh, you see, you missed OBJ." I mean, yeah, but OBJ ran a completely wrong route. But okay, yeah.
That's why if you watch like Randy Moss break down Tom Brady's game on Monday Night Football, he'll always talk about how important the timing is with Tom Brady.
Well, yeah.
Because Tom Brady knows
Where you're supposed
in
to be.
6 seconds,
Yeah.
my guy running the go route is going to be at the 40.
Right.
So I've just got to hit this at the 40. I don't even need to look to see if he's there. I just know he's going to be there.
No,
And
you're
that,
right.
I'm not going to say Baker is that type of quarterback, but that's
No,
the
but-
way that you need to prepare to play with Baker.
But that's how a lot of quarterbacks are.
Anymore, yeah.
Like
because it's showing that way works.
Yeah. Like you're supposed to be at a spot.
You're supposed to be at a spot. Like
But these
they're
fucking
set.
prima donnas who are like, no, I'm going to go get open over here. And
Yeah.
You're going to find me.
They're playing street
No.
ball. They're playing street ball, and that's not how you play
Right.
in the NFL. There's routes for a reason. It's literally they have them mapped out to the step on purpose.
And if Odell were to come to a team like Detroit
God, I wanted to see that happen so bad.
and
I
do
really did
stuff
too.
like that where he just decided to make his own routes, I'd go, you know what? You're not hurting anything because the shit they're doing's not working. So maybe
Right.
if you alter it, it will work.
Like I said,
But you don't walk into a team that's a Super Bowl favorite and go, hey, I know you just lost Robert Woods and he was all great and everything, but you got me now. We're going to do this.
Yep.
And then you just fuck everything up. Like, the only reason that Rams receiving room was working as well as it was is because Kupp is not a first option. But you can use him as a first option when you have a threat like Robert Woods right there.
right.
I don't know if you guys heard after the game, but after the game, as they were on the field, OBJ walked up behind Stafford at one point and said, "My dad wants to talk to you."
Mr. Stafford, Odell Sr. would like to see you.
We need to chat. We need to chat.
I'm going to tell you, too, I really don't fully buy that was Odell's dad who did that.
Of course.
Of course not.
I want to.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I want to believe it was. But I also want to believe that Odell's dad has an Instagram. So,
Yeah.
no, that was OBJ's doing.
Oh, 100% it was OBJ's doing.
And OBJ is a prima donna who helps nobody.
Exactly. And as long as you're going to have guys like that on your team, a team like Detroit, yeah, you can get away with doing that because it's just such an atrocity. You walked into a Super Bowl favorite, dude. My advice to you is to shut the fuck up and do your best Robert Woods impression for the next couple of weeks, and maybe you'll get a Super Bowl out of it.
Well, going from guys you don't want on your team to guys that you do want on your team, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank.
Yeah, if you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or even consolidate debt, give my guy Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Rates are currently incredibly low, and find out how you could get $750 towards costs or up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. So once again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. Thank you for the setup, Joe. I was looking for one in there, and like every time I went to do it, like one of you guys would talk, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Listen, I knew it was getting about that time. I saw the time it was. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to toss it up for him.
You just jumped right into it, and I was like, "Fuck! I better bring mine up in case he does me
I
next."
had a couple of them in that little 5-minute span or whatever. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yes, that worked out well. Nicely done, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, I went to school for this. Some of it paid off.
Right.
Just to continue the shitting on the Lions.
Please.
Have you guys looked at what exactly is going on in the NFC right now?
It's a shit show.
Have you looked at the numbers and everything where the playoffs fall?
No, I haven't.
Statistically, there is one team that's probably not going to make the playoffs. Everybody else
Lions.
is within like 1 or 2 games of being in the playoff hunt.
Okay, so let's just put it this way: how many games has Jacksonville won?
2.
2. With a rookie quarterback who is actually kind of hurt right now. Their number 1 receiver is down, and
Their number 1 receiver is the number 3 receiver on any other team anyway.
Well, but their number DJ Chark went down before the season started, right? So the running back they drafted this year went down before the season started, and
their number 2's hurt, I believe.
Their number 2 was just set out a game before that. This last game he played, and when you look at that team overall, it's not like they have that much more talent than the Lions.
Nope.
And they have a head coach who's a first-year head coach from college who nobody really thinks can coach in the NFL. They have 2 wins. They have 2 wins.
And I'm going to own this right off the rip. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and I'm stealing this team right from what they were talking about. There's a team with a first-year head coach and a 40-year-old quarterback who's not worth a shit anymore, and they have 4 wins. Atlanta,
yeah.
And they were way worse than you were last year.
Yep.
And they essentially did nothing.
Right.
They took a Band-Aid and put it in at running back because it was the only thing they had.
Well, and pretty much their defense is being run on like 30% of the playbook.
Yeah, because the coach doesn't trust them. He does not think they're smart enough to run the other 70% of the fucking playbook.
So his defensive coordinator and the head coach basically came out and said their players are not good enough and not smart enough to run the entire playbook on defense.
Yep.
They're only running 30% of the playbook on defense. And that team
has
4 wins.
four
Has 4
more
wins.
wins than you.
Yep.
I don't know. You Lion Honks want to continue to back this clown. You have at it. We're just going to continue to make fun of you because honestly, why not? Why wouldn't we continue to make fun of you?
So
you guys think it's going to change every year? It's not going to. It's
Like-
not going to. You'll have the odd year where you're decent. Okay, that's great. You know, the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while. But I'm sorry, this is a loser franchise. It will always be a loser franchise. Period.
So to back that up, how many wins do the Jets have?
At least 2.
They have 2.
There you go.
I was
They
going
have
to
2.
say I have
with
it
a
all right
with
here,
a first year head coach.
Yeah.
The head coach that I thought the Lions should have hired.
Yep.
And who I fully would have backed.
We were lockstep on that.
And they have 2 wins with a rookie quarterback who has looked really
Who
bad.
is not very good.
And then a second quarterback that came in, who was drafted the year of Baker and Josh Allen, who was drafted in like the 6th round.
Right.
And nobody really thought would do anything. And he's not that great, as he proved this last weekend with 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. But they have 2 wins, and their roster is not much different than the Lions. So you can try to spin this all you want to, and there's a lot of Lions fans right now that are spinning this with, well, this is what we should have. This is what we expected. No, it's not. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie now.
I was going to say 4 years ago, this is not what you expected. This is what you expected when Dan Campbell got hired and you realized you had absolutely fucking nothing.
It's not even what they expected then.
And actually
It's
saying
not even what they
when
expected
he
then.
got hired is bad. This is what you expected come week 4, week 5.
But Mike White said he should have been drafted first overall. Oh, yeah, he should have
that
been
was
first overall.
funny.
I did hear that. I did hear that he said
That is hilarious because he then went out and proceeded to throw 4 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. But, I mean, listen.
Against one of the best defenses in the NFL.
I like the guy's moxie, though. Listen, I like the guy's moxie.
He
but
came out and won a game.
when it comes down to it, Lions fans did not expect this at the beginning of the season.
No.
We heard nothing else but they have weapons.
They got weapons.
They have weapons.
Okay.
This team's going to be better than you think. Their offensive line is going to be top 5 in the league. They're going to be better than you think. They're going to win. They're going to win 8 games.
There's so many
No, they're
predictions
not.
that I saw for that.
Yeah, and now
Like, no,
now
they're
they're
not.
saying this is what we expected. Why would you expect anything else? This is what we expected. You're lying to everybody, including yourself. You're fucking lying. You're covering up for the fact that you actually still bought into this team at the beginning of the season, and now that it's halfway through and you know there's no hope, now you're saying this is what we expected. Shut the fuck up. You're pathetic at this point.
Before the season actually got going, my prediction was 4 wins.
It was, and I will back that up.
Yes, it was.
Both Chicago's, Cincinnati, and give me a random game.
Yeah.
And those were the 4 that I was picking.
Right.
Cincinnati kicked their ass. Chicago kicked their ass.
We've gone over this week after week. We know that my prediction was definitely wrong.
I'm just throwing it out there.
But-
I just like throwing it out there.
Justin Fields kicked your ass.
I also, I wouldn't say he kicked our ass, but he won.
He kicked your ass.
Yeah, he kicked their ass.
He had what was it, like 100 and some passing yards? He didn't kick anybody's ass.
Yeah, Chicago kind of dominated that game, dude.
He kicked fucking Mason Rudolph's ass from this past week. It's the only ass he kicked. But he did enough to win. That's all that fucking matters at the end of the day.
Right.
Yep.
But there were 4 games that I had him pegged.
Yeah.
And I don't know of many other people outside of the 2 of you that had them pegged to lose less than that.
I said 4 at most.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I was at realistically.
And that's what I'm saying, like-
Realistically, 2.
I'm giving the 4 horsemen salute continuously because that was the lowest number I heard from a Lions fan.
Yeah.
And that was myself.
And yeah, I don't. Me and Joe were just like, no, it's not happening.
And you said, you're like, yeah, 4 if a miracle
yeah,
happens.
I'd say 2 at most.
What's the number?
Fields had 209 passing yards.
Oh, sorry, 209.
Yep. Well, he was 11 of 17. He only missed 6 passes.
11
11 is-
completions for 200 yards. That's not kicking anybody's ass.
He didn't have to do anything else. in
Right.
that.
But I'm not arguing that he didn't win the game. He fucking won the game. Said that twice. I'm just saying he didn't kick anybody's ass.
I can't wait for him to do it on
I
Thanksgiving.
will own being wrong. I will not give you the satisfaction of telling you were right, though.
Fair enough. I can't wait to see him do it again on Thanksgiving.
I agree. I can't wait.
I'm super excited because I might be working Thanksgiving, so I won't even
Oh,
be
you
awake for
better.
that game.
I cannot wait to watch that game on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving with a half-filled stadium is gonna be sweet.
Oh, we have a comment here. Frank, you heard 4 or 5 from me because of the O-line and run game, but I was way off. Looking forward to Atlanta dropping 40 on the Lions when Matty Ice faces them.
Is that Andrew?
I like that. But Andrew, so let's be honest. You said because of the O-line and the run game. So everyone likes to talk about, before the season I was saying that this team was going to be awful. If you look at them on paper, they weren't going to be a good team. They were going to be lucky to win 4 games at that. I've won a lot over the last little while off of bets I made against the Lions this year. When it comes down
Andrew
to it,
wants to brag about how great he is at picking. Ask him how that pick'em league worked out for him.
oh, all right. Well, I'll ask you that in a second. But I want to ask you this, Andrew. You said because of the O-line and the run game. Now, other than this last week, which Lions honks again could not stop saying that run game looks wicked. Oh my God, that run game looks great. Did you really think that O-line and that run game was gonna be like otherworldly, and that it was gonna be best in the league, and that they were gonna stand out so much that it was gonna be just that great?
Name me
I
a year
just-
the Lions' offensive line's been completely healthy the entire season.
Name any offensive line that's completely healthy in the
Right,
entire
and
season-
that's
the
what I'm
entire
saying,
season.
like- After injuries, do I think this team would be better with Frank Ragnow right now? Yeah,
So he said not
absolutely.
otherworldly. No. Okay, good.
But
All right.
yeah, they're going to be an above average offensive line at best.
Then Andrew, you're not like some of the other people
No.
that I talked to, because these people were going. So I literally had somebody tell me that my predictions were based off of nothing, because I was predicting them based off of players that were coming in from college that I had no film on, and players that had just recently been signed, and that I was all hypothetical. But then he proceeded to tell me the O-line was going to be top 5 in the league and the run game was going to be top 5 in the league. And I said, what are you hypothetically basing this on? If all mine is hypothetical, so is yours. They haven't played a single fucking down. So what is hypothetical in this situation?
That
And
is-
the guy proceeded to still tell me they were going to be top 5 at both. And I said, okay, Good luck with that.
That is if you get like the best ever version of Taylor Decker. You're 100% right on Penei Sewell. Frank Ragnow takes 2 steps in an even better direction. And then the 2 guards that you have somehow play the fucking game of their life. That's how you get a top 5 offensive line. Other than that, it ain't happening. And none of that shit's happening for you anyways.
So if all that comes to fruition, so if everything goes perfect, maybe that offensive line is top 5
For a couple weeks.
Right. So I mean, and Andrew just said, but enough to keep them in it and to scratch out a couple wins. That's where you fool yourself, unfortunately. You and everybody else. I'm not pointing you out, Andrew. I'm just saying that's where as Lions fans, you fall into that trap of the hoping and wishing and thinking that, oh well, these guys are going to pan out and look at all this talent they have, and it doesn't ever come to fruition on that team. It just doesn't.
You went into the season with the number 1 receiver who is now a 5th string wide receiver on the team that won the Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
That's solid.
Your best player is a 5th stringer on a Super Bowl caliber team.
He goes, 4 or 5 wins isn't a lot of hope. It was more hope than you should have had, Andrew. I'm literally not trying to be a dick here. It's more hope than you should have had for this team.
It's hard to disagree with that.
I'm just saying. He says facts. Yes. Yes. It and their number 1 wide receiver, Tyrell Williams, didn't even play fucking down for him.
No, I'm talking about Perriman.
I know. But Perriman's now playing for Tampa.
And for those of you who are hardcore Lions fans and are like, who are you guys talking about? Rashard Perriman and Tyrell Williams were actually your 1 and 2 receivers going into game 1.
Never heard of him.
And Tyrell Williams never played. I don't think he ever played it down
Tyrell
for them.
Williams
He hurt
was
himself in preseason, right?
in Vegas up until this past year.
Oh, he's on the Raiders.
He was on the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah, he was
Weapons.
a weapon. He couldn't even.
Did you see the tight end weapon they have? Did you see what his stats were this week?
Did he have 0 catches? Weird.
Their Pro Bowl tight end.
Weird. 0 catches.
Unfucking believable.
Just being funny, but maybe if he shaved his head, he'll fucking play better.
Maybe if he stopped trying to look like Dan Campbell when he was actually playing tight end.
Right, no doubt. Oh, anyways.
Yeah.
But enough of this fucking shit franchise.
I was going to say,
I can't handle it anymore.
All of that being said, like, you want to know why I'm just throwing in the towel right now and saying, fuck it. When you guys figure it out, then I'll come back and reevaluate where I'm at with you guys. Those are all like.
He goes, well, TJ ran routes past 5 yards. You can't expect Goff to throw that far.
That's true. I mean, yeah, all right.
That's great. Yeah, it's very true. Again, I'm going to come back with you with facts.
Facts.
Yep.
I noticed he still hasn't told you how that pick'em went, though.
Yeah, he hasn't. I
don't remember what the game was, but he got bounced out a couple weeks ago. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago.
I got bounced out of Survivor Pool 2 weeks ago myself. So
I think a lot of
Which
people
game
got
did you
bounced
pick?
out that week?
I took the Rams.
Was it it might have been the same one.
Yeah.
He'll let you know in a minute.
He goes Survivor. Frank means. Yeah, I picked Andrew. I actually picked up on that. I knew he was saying the wrong thing. Cowboys versus Broncos. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the same week. I took the Rams that week.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been rough to pick this year.
It has. This year's been. It's been crazy this year.
He goes, my pick'em is going horrible too. Haven't told him that yet.
I think he just did.
Andrew, my pick'em, my weekly pick'em is not going that well either. I'm in like 8th place, and I'm about I'm 88 to 95. I'm like 7 picks out of first, which isn't horrible, but I'm in like 8th place behind a lot of other people.
But I will tell you, and him and I had this as like a stuck talking point for a couple of weeks there. He was taking Cleveland this week.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk him out of it. Take Detroit, but he was taking Cleveland this week.
Well, their hope is going to be that Nick Chubb comes back from COVID. So
I mean, really, Detroit's hope should be that a meteor takes out the stadium and they just can't play.
Anyway, moving on. As we move on.
Yes, as we move on. I wanted to get into Michigan really quick because I know you didn't watch the game, but I watched it. And I it's here in Michigan Hawks. It's so funny. It's like, dude, this team's not good. They're
not.
They're not good.
They're not. I didn't watch it. I looked at Andrew says, "Don't even need Chubb." Andrew, I like that comment. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I looked at some of it. I saw some of the highlights. I saw some of the replay. I just, other than that 1 week where I watched some of it at a tailgate, I refuse to watch Michigan football.
You won because James Franklin's a fucking idiot. First of all, that guy's a fucking moron. I don't know why you're faking. Your fake punt worked, and then like literally the drive after that, you fake a field goal and don't take the points, and it's like, okay, you're a clown. Anyways, but you see it constantly every week. This dude coaches not to lose.
Yep.
And most of the time, that gets you beat. And it got you beat against Michigan State.
Yep.
And it's going to get you beat against fucking Ohio State.
It's going to get you. It's going to get you your ass handed to you against Ohio State.
And then you get these idiots on social media is like, he's 9-1. You still want to fire him? I'm like, yeah, I want to fucking fire him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, go root for another team. I was like, thank you for telling me how to be a fan. Now fuck off.
Right.
Yes, the number one thing you can't do as a fan is expect better of your team.
Right,
Oh, that's a rule. That's a rule.
Right.
You can't.
He's like, he's 9-1. I was like, did he beat Michigan State? No. Has he beaten Ohio State at all? No. Okay, yeah, that's why I want to fucking
What's his
fire.
record against Michigan State?
He's got a losing one.
Yep, exactly. He's 4-3 against Michigan State. You have a losing record against your rivals. Bye.
No, doesn't he have a split against Notre Dame? I mean, that's like their third or fourth rival, but it's still a rival.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you a couple years ago.
They have more
I don't
rivals
consider
than
Notre
I
Dame a
have
rival.
teams.
Not anymore.
I don't consider Notre Dame their
No,
rival.
when they-
They
when
don't
they-
play.
I
If
know,
Notre
but-
Dame was in the Big Ten,
I'm talking like if you look
Oh.
at ESPN, when ESPN says they're rivals, like if that number's going to be low, then they throw Notre Dame in just to give them the one more.
Right. But
Yeah.
have you been in any Big Ten championship games? No. That's why I want to fire. And then they win this game, and typically this is a game that they normally lose. And credit they won, and congratulations. But it's like, dude, this is what he should have been doing the entire fucking time he's been here.
Yep.
And this is why I want him gone.
Yep.
Like the whole reason he was brought here was to win games like this, and he's only done it like once in his tenure.
The whole
on.
reason he was brought here was to win Big Ten championships, beat his rivals, which to me is
He
Michigan
was
State and
brought
Ohio
there
State.
to win national championships.
Well,
period.
listen, he was brought there to. I'm gonna throw the bar low. All right, I'm gonna say make the playoffs, win Big Ten championships, and beat your rivals.
Because
that's what he was brought there to
If
do.
you win the Big Ten, you're going to the playoff.
right. So when it comes down to it, he was brought there to compete
Yeah.
for national championships, and by competing for national championships, that's winning the Big Ten title, that's beating your rivals, and he has done none of that. And somebody said. Local radio host and some other people have said, well, if he goes out and he beats Ohio State this year and the only loss is to Michigan State, you have to forgive all that.
No, I don't.
Nope. I don't.
Nope.
I really don't. They could make the playoffs this year, and I don't forgive all the rest of that. I'm sorry.
It's like telling me if the Lions win this weekend, I'm supposed to jump back on the bandwagon and be happy about it. No,
You
it's
can't-
1 week.
Because again, this is what you should have been doing the entire time you've been here.
Yeah, this
And-
is 1 week.
You literally, like this would be like 1 year that you finally got it right. Congratulations.
And it's not even 1 year that he got it right. It's just 1 year where he didn't completely fuck it up.
Well, fair
Right.
enough. Yeah. I mean, however you want to look at it. Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, like,
But yeah, to say that it forgives all of it, no, it does not. Stop it.
That's where-
that's nonsense.
you know, even not to make it about Sparty, but even Sparty fans who are talking about lifetime contracts with Tucker right now. It's like, guys, pump the fucking brakes. Like, yes, great season, but pump the brakes here.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and Andrew says to advertise for khaki as well.
Okay.
Facts.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's Chris. I agree with you. I agree with you. The fact that Michigan fans right now are, and that's part of the problem. That's part of why Sparty fans hate you. You're just arrogant over nothing.
Yep.
Like it's insane that
You're
that's
Lions fans that put themselves on a pedestal.
yeah. It's you should expect more from the guy that they brought in to pay $8 million. Now, granted, they docked his pay. He's down to like $4 million. Okay, but that doesn't forgive the fact they brought him in and paid him $8 million a year for the first 6, and he was brought in to compete for national championships. Has he even sniffed one?
Nope.
Has he come anywhere within spitting distance of one?
Nope.
But it's okay because he was in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I was like, when the guy told me that, when the guy said that to me, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Andrew, I think you're on board with both Chris and I. Andrew says, as a Michigan fan, I hate Michigan fan. I agree with you.
Yeah.
He does. It's part of the reason why he's one of my best friends. I can literally sit there and just tell him everything I think about Michigan fans. He's like, I mean, I love them, but yeah, you're right.
And the bad part is, I don't even think it's the majority of us.
No.
I think it's just it's the more outspoken Michigan fan.
It's the vocal minority,
Right.
as it is in literally 99% of the case with shit in the world. Period.
It's the fan that thinks the program is just good. Period. No matter what. Like, you should root for them. Period. 100%. And if you don't, then you're anti-fan. You're not a Michigan. It's
Right.
like, okay.
And if that works for
Okay.
you, then cool. But I mean, there's probably a lot of other shit you do that I think you're an idiot for
Right.
too.
And that's
so.
why I said it to that guy. That's why I told him to fuck off. I'm like,
Right.
You can't tell anybody else how to be a fucking fan. You just can't. That's not how fandom works.
Right.
Like, there's no true definition of fandom. Like, sorry, I want better from my team. You're cool with this status quo bullshit. You're cool with mediocrity. Enjoy.
It's like
I'm not going to tell you to go root for another team or be happy with mediocrity or whatever, because that's what you're doing. You're already doing it. I don't need to say that to you.
I watched one Red Wing game in the course of 2 or 3 years, and I was actually told that I was a bad fan because I wouldn't watch them when they sucked. It's like, no, I know how this is going to go. I'm not going to bother wasting my I am a fan,
But he
I
watches
just
the
know what to
Lions.
expect. Because every year there was like this little bit of hope. We knew with the Wings they didn't have hope. You're right.
But at least with the Wings,
At one point, it sounded like you were fighting for your breath.
Because I started laughing about something else, and then I started laughing about the fact that you were watching Lions over the Red Wings. But Andrew says the definition of fandom equals Frank rooting for 75% of the team.
nice. Well played, sir. Well played.
And then, of course, you led into that after I started laughing about that already with your I refused to watch the Red Wings because they were losing, and then you
No,
you
it wasn't
watched
even
the Lions.
because I just looked at the team they were putting
Right.
together, and I was like, nah, I ain't wasting my time with this.
Right.
Like, it just, I could see that it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
This season and the whole time, like, I never said shit about Dan Campbell because the speech was great. Other than that, I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I didn't have a lot
I
of
think
faith.
deep down
but
you knew exactly what was going to happen.
You did say you wanted to run through a wall for him.
yeah, and that's why I said that speech, like, he had me geeked up.
Are you ready to bang your head against the wall for him now?
No, because I bought my own home, and if I bang my head against the wall and I put my head through the wall, I have to fix
You
the
have to
wall.
pay for it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
That's
Just
true.
find a random brick wall. Just a random one.
I got a pretty hard head.
Yeah, well,
Might not feel good.
as opposed to making you want to run through a wall, you make you want
right.
to bash your head against one.
Right.
But yeah, and then
I thought he was going to throw into me now.
no, you thought
I have it up and ready. I was like, go ahead, Joe.
He was ready this week. I didn't have to text him this week. He was ready to go.
speaking of wanting to run through a wall for somebody,
Whether you're buying or
There it
selling
is.
your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson of the Joe Wright Group a call today. Phone number is 248-535-4750.
they'll put you within your new 4 walls.
That's solid.
Especially if you're a Lions fan and put your head through one of the
Right, exactly.
prior walls.
Well played, sir. Well done. Nicely done, gentlemen.
Yeah. But so are we going to say we talked about Michigan?
Yeah, we'll talk about
We're going to talk about Michigan State at all?
Absolutely,
I mean,
yeah,
they
we
are
can.
they're a local team. They are playing.
they're playing Ohio State this weekend.
State this weekend. They've only got 1 loss
Yeah.
going into the Ohio State game.
Yeah.
Frank, as our resident Michigan State slapdick, what what have you say, sir?
just real quick, for the spirit of the conversation we were having beforehand, I am a slapdick for Michigan State now. What teams exactly am I a slapdick for?
Well,
Jaguars.
college.
No, just period.
The
Okay,
Red Sox.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Hold on, one at a time.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Sparty.
Okay.
Chris, take over baseball.
Oh, the fucking Red Sox.
Red Sox.
The Bruins.
Tigers.
Knights. Jaguars.
Jaguars. Raiders.
Raiders.
Lions. There's another NFL team,
I
isn't
feel like
there?
there's another one in there too. Oh, Rams now apparently.
Rams now because
No, I just enjoy watching Jalen Ramsey
Oh,
play. That's
fair enough.
really the extent of that.
Fair enough.
The Wings. We left them out.
Were they left out? I thought
They
they
were
were
left
said,
out.
but I'll give you that one. So we got 10.
So Andrew, you want to join in here? He started off with the Raiders. Andrew, just start listing them up. Patriots, but
yeah.
he's dropped that one though. Andrew, he's dropped that one completely.
I'm not going to say that I am a Patriots fan.
Yeah, Tampa,
No.
because of Gronk and you.
I am a fan of the Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski team. So yeah, we will replace New England with Tampa.
Okay.
They fill the same role.
I mean, that's you filled up at least two hands there of your fandoms.
It's a good thing when you fill up two hands.
That's what she said.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just every once in a while it's fun to call you guys on it and be like, okay, if I like all these teams, which ones do I like? Because I told you at the very beginning, at some point you guys would figure out exactly which teams I do like and which teams I don't.
I think we nailed it. I think we did pretty well.
I would have to write them all out and check them off as you go, but 10 sounds about right.
I think we did. I think we did pretty well.
I know one or two hockey teams that were left out, but
Yeah.
we discussed hockey as
I said the Knights.
no. There's a lot more than
I
just.
said the Bruins and Knights.
Yeah,
and the Wings.
I could name half the NHL.
And
that I enjoy
Seattle.
watching.
You're a new
Seattle.
fan of the
No,
Kraken?
no,
You're
no, Kraken?
No.
not a big fan of the Kraken?
No.
In?
Vegas was mainly just I enjoyed the way Vegas put that team together, and I was waiting to see the Kraken put something together, and Brandon Tanev was the best thing that they had. And sorry, guys. Best of luck to you, but no, I'm not interested in watching.
All right. Well, in that case, did you have anything to say about the Spartans playing Ohio State? Because if not, we're just going to go to the picks.
Well, and what I'm going to say, I guess, we'll just start it off picking the Michigan State-Ohio State game because it's going to kind of tie everything together on that one. So if you want to just
Are you going to go ahead and say some stuff about? Okay.
yeah,
You're going to give some insight?
kick it to the picks, and then we can just jump right into that.
Thank you, producer. Nicely done, sir. All right, it is time for the picks.
It just didn't make a lot of sense to me to break that game down
I get
and
it.
then
Yeah.
break it down for the picks.
Hit
So
it. What do you got?
basically, spoiler alert, I think Ohio State's going to end up covering this game. That's how overrated I think Michigan State
And it is Ohio State is laying 19.
19 is
Yes.
your spread.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I'm going to take Ohio State to cover because I think the difference in the pinnacle of the Big Ten and where teams like Michigan State and Michigan and Wisconsin, arguably, at this point, are at, there is a giant divide. And I think you're going to run into that the next 2 weeks when Michigan and Michigan State both play Ohio State.
I'm going to take Sparty getting the points.
You're gonna
For
take Sparty?
For whatever reason, they always give Ohio State trouble.
They do.
It's weird.
I'm going to look at this game like the Penn State game. Penn State's not a good team.
No.
But they fought pretty hard against Ohio State, and it was, what, a 9-point game?
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me Sparty.
Yes.
And Andrew says Spartans cover but barely.
Moving on from the Michigan
I
State game.
just look at Michigan State and I go, that is a team that currently seems to be buying into their own hype. And I don't like when teams buy into their own hype because most of the time the hype's not real.
Well, and let's face it, I'm not going to bash Sparty. I'm just going to say that both Michigan and Michigan State, their fans bought into the hype with them being ranked so high and being undefeated at a certain point. Neither one of those teams are very good. I'm sorry, they're just not.
In Sparty's defense, they bought into the team when they won 3 games. So we know they're not the smartest.
And they burned couches and cars after the Michigan win. Anyway,
Moving on. Next up, Michigan is taking on Maryland, and Michigan is laying 15.
Michigan.
I think Michigan's too good of a team.
I think this is a trap game, and give me Maryland.
Good. You're going to take Maryland.
Give me Maryland. Getting the points. 100%.
Andrew takes Michigan.
Okay.
Maryland's just not that good. And 15 points is not that hard to overcome in this matchup to me. Chris Wright, this could be a trap game.
If this game was in Ann Arbor, I would take Michigan all day. But it's a road game. You're looking ahead to the Buckeyes next week. Yeah, give me Maryland getting the points.
You notice when he calls a trap game, more often than not it happens.
Yeah, I mean he's smart when it comes to college football. I mean, I'm not. That'll be like the last compliment I give you. But yeah, that's when it comes to college football, he's pretty smart. And I mean, in my defense, I called that Sparty loss and
You
didn't take it because I was gonna feel like I was being a hater, but flat out called that loss.
You did.
Yes, you did. 100%.
So yeah. Well, sometimes when you see a trap game, you're seeing it for a reason.
I just noticed
That's-
that when Chris sees a game, he's like, "Nope, that's a trap game," and he calls it out. And
Yep.
a lot of times, he ends up being right.
Yeah.
and it's just something I've noticed through the course of you saying these trap games, and they end up being trap games.
And I 100% agree with you on this one. I'm just looking at this thinking Michigan is not gonna take this lightly. So could they? And is this a spot where they would possibly? Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I see it as a trap game, and plus coming off going to Penn State, beating them, and that was an emotional game. I get it.
The in between the Penn State and the Ohio State,
and you're
kind of
looking
that.
forward to- yeah, so
Yep.
I see this absolutely as a trap game, and I think Michigan. Honestly, I think if they win, they'll be by like 7 or so. Like I don't see them covering that spread.
Did you say if they win?
Yeah, dude, I could absolutely see them losing. 100%, I could see them losing. This would be a typical Harbaugh fucking loss.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that typical loss is going to come next week
Well, fair.
when he gets
Yeah.
his ass stomped in by
Right.
Ohio State.
But this would be a game
I'm
that
just
you're
proud
just
of him
like,
for playing this year.
yeah, right. But this would be one you're just like, y'all still want this dude to run your football program?
Right.
Cool. Next up, Oregon taking on Utah. Utah's laying 3.
Utah.
This God, if I was like betting this for real, I would stay away from this game, 100%.
Oregon. Well, see, and here's where you got to look at this, right?
Yeah.
Oregon, ranked 3rd. Utah, ranked 24th. But you know what's funny about Vegas?
They know.
They don't care about rankings.
Nope.
They just go based off of what their system and what they plug in tells them.
Yep.
Give me Utah.
Oh, 100% give me Utah. Absolutely. This game is at Utah in the altitude.
Give me Utah.
Give me Utah.
Because the public will look at this and say it's a 3rd-ranked team going against a 24th-ranked team, and Oregon. Yep, you're taking Oregon, Andrew, with the public. I listen. I'm not gonna dog you for it, I guess. But to me,
I'm
this
jump
is
on the Utah bandwagon.
to me
real quick.
this is Vegas again, where they don't pay attention to rankings. They just pay attention to what their system kicks out to them and what it tells them. And this tells them that Utah is actually favored in this game at home against the 3rd-ranked Oregon team. I'm gonna go with Vegas.
Oh, and it's a night game too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Utah all day on this one. And Frank, you took Utah?
Yeah, I'm taking Utah on it.
Okay. Next up is Arkansas taking on Alabama. Alabama's laying 20.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Give me Arkansas, just because that's a huge spread, and I don't know if Alabama's as good as people make them seem this year.
God, this is a tough one. I'm gonna, give me Alabama.
Taking Bama.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama.
All right.
I think they lay the wood to Arkansas.
Andrew's taking Bama as well.
I think I'm with you guys on the Bama train. Arkansas has burned me already.
Yeah, twice.
This year. Yeah.
I'm not taking them to win. I'm just taking them to cover.
No, I know.
No.
And if I take them to cover, they're going to burn me again.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me Alabama.
All right. So we got 3-1.
Yeah. Iowa State, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's laying 4.5.
Give me Oklahoma.
Give me Iowa State, dude. Oklahoma is they're fraudulent as usual. That game last week, that was an abomination, and I think Iowa State goes down to Norman and beats them.
Okay.
I see them bouncing back.
Okay.
I see this as a bounce back game. Give me Oklahoma.
All right.
And Andrew
takes
Oklahoma as
Oklahoma.
well.
And then next up is New England taking on the Falcons. New England is laying 7.
Real quick question on this one for the
This is an easy pick for me.
well, and it should be realistically. But is Mac Jones for real?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yes.
Right now, he's looking like probably
The
your
best
rookie
rookie
of the year.
quarterback?
Yeah, your probable
It's hard
offensive rookie of the year.
It's hard to disagree with that.
Yep.
He's look good.
And how do you let that happen?
But he's
though?
a system quarterback.
Like, literally, every single team picking in front of New England knew exactly what New England was doing. And you let them fucking do it. And it ends up being, like, you get mad about what Belichick did with Brady.
You just
You just fucking let him do it again.
right.
I'm gonna read Andrews, and Andrews is actually this is gonna be my pick.
All right, so this is Joe
Andrew-
speaking for
this
Joe
is-
and Andrew.
This is me speaking for me and Andrew.
Okay.
Falcons and Mac Jones is for real.
Okay.
This is an easy pick for me. Falcons. 7 points. I would have taken this. I would have taken the Falcons at 6 points. Give me 7 points. Give me a full touchdown. Give me the Falcons. Yeah, this is an easy one for me.
Yes, I will actually agree with you on that. I will take the Falcons as well.
Wow. We're going clean sweep for the Falcons.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Neither did I.
It's purely just for my hatred of the Patriots. Honestly.
Well, listen, to me, this is more based off the Patriots kicking the shit out of Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
But as Cleveland has proved in this season,
Yeah.
they've got a lot of injuries. They were pretty much overhyped a little bit, and their coaching staff has done them no favors. So you can't take that game as Bible. New England is good. They're not great.
They're not
and
otherworldly like they were at one point.
They're not giving up. They're not giving up 7 points in Atlanta, traveling to Atlanta. Good. Sorry, that's just not it.
Right? Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, Andrew also said, "Wow, did not see that coming." I agree with you, bro. I did not see that coming, man. I didn't see. I saw at least 2 people out of the 4 of us taking New England. I just knew one of them wasn't going to be me. So
It was funny, though, because when you led into it saying, like, this is an easy one for me, I thought for sure you were going Patriots. That's why I said, like, no, you would think this would be an easy one. And it seems like we all had the same mindset with it.
Yes.
yeah, I see. Listen, I don't get me wrong. I see New England winning that game, but I see them winning by 3 or 4, not 7. And I think it started off at 6. I would have taken them at 6, but you want to make it 7? It's up to 7 now. Fuck yeah, I'll take Atlanta with 7.
Yeah, like it. Those are the picks.
Those are the picks.
Those are the picks.
All right, Chris, I think you said you had a couple grind my gears.
I'll have one. I'll save the other one for.
You know
for
what
another
really
time.
grinds my gears?
So it was at the Red Wing game on Saturday night, and afterwards we went to the bar after the game, and so we go, having a couple. We're sitting literally at the bar, and it's packed, like incredibly packed. It's like 4 or 5 people deep from the bar on back, and this person, I'm not going to say if it's a male or female, it doesn't matter, comes in and just starts just sitting there and mind you, like I said, it's incredibly busy, but they're just constantly elbowing lady friend, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? So tap person on the shoulder. I was like, hey, do you mind like moving over a little bit because you keep elbowing my girlfriend in the back? Turn around and like want to get my face and starts like, well, your girlfriend should fucking move and blah blah blah. I'm like, really? Like, what the fuck, man? Shit, like, why are people like this? I don't understand it. Like, I'm not, like, I asked you nicely, and, like, I don't want to make a big fucking thing about this, but if you're going to fucking react like that, then it's going to be a fucking thing.
People forgot how to deal with other people.
It's
over
like,
the course of
dude,
the
man,
last 2
like, if
years.
you were sitting here and you asked me to move because I was accidentally elbowing you, which I would completely understand, and granted, like I said, it was an incredibly busy bar.
Right.
I apologize. My bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that.
Right. But no, to
And-
turn around and be a total fucking asshole about it? Like, really?
Like, situation that would normally lead to the exact same type of result.
Right.
Like, me, Andrew, and our buddy BG, we went to a comedy show on Sunday. We went and saw Bert Kreischer at the Fox.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it, yeah.
So, we're larger guys, so we take up a little bit of space.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I did not mean for that to happen.
Okay.
That was
This was just a continuation of his.
Right.
So.
yeah, that was not meant to happen. Sorry about
But
that.
I had a smaller guy next to me, and his girlfriend was on the end, and I told him at one point, I was like, if you need me to, move or whatever, like, this isn't a newsflash to me. I'm well aware that I'm a bigger dude. Like, I'm gonna invade your space a little bit. If you need me to move, just say what's up.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
You're a bigger dude?
Yeah. It's this little secret that I've been keeping for a while.
Guess I just don't see those kind of things.
I figured it was time to come out. So.
Okay, then.
That's what she said.
Nah.
But no, in
Yeah,
that situation, yeah. Like, that's where I look at it and I go, I guess I'm the guy who steers into it and goes, hey, I know I'm going to be doing this, so if you have a problem, just say what's up. But you just got to be cautious when you're with people at this point.
Yeah. It's like,
Because they
don't-
really
don't be a
have.
fucking
People,
asshole.
people have lost it over the last 2 years. Like, nobody knew how to deal with people beforehand,
But-
and then we went in the lockup, and then people came out of it with absolutely no people skills.
I agree, but I disagree. For the simple fact of that's one of the main reasons why I don't manage bars anymore.
Oh, then honestly, my second grind my gears, you'll enjoy.
I absolutely hate people like that, and they've been around since before COVID. Like they don't know how to act when they get a couple of drinks in them. It's like, man, you are actually a nice person when you're actually a decent human being when you don't have any alcohol in you. And if as soon as they get a beer in them, like it turns them into like this fucking gremlin.
Yeah.
That you know. Like they're a mogwai that fucking got wet after midnight. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what happened to you?
So the second one I have, and I think you'll appreciate this one as a
You know what really grinds my gears?
as a former bar manager. So Red Wing game started at 7. So this is the same bar, but this was before the game. So the Wings game starts at 7. This psychopath comes in at like 5:30-ish.
Same one?
No, this is a different person.
Different psychopath.
Different psychopath. It comes in around 5:30, and of course it's going to be busy because it's for the game. You know, people want to have their drinks and whatever, and not pay $18 for fucking beers at the game. I get it.
What?
She comes racing up to the bar to the bartender. Mind you, the bar they were short staffed. They had literally two fucking bartenders.
Wait, somebody was short staffed right now?
Right, exactly.
Holy shit.
That's a
And
shocker.
again, this psychopath is like yelling at the bartender, like, "I have a reservation. You need to seat me," and shit like this. And the bartender's just like, "I got nothing for you. I can't help you. Like, you see, I have a shitload of people I have to help. I can't do anything for you."
Either wait in that line or go out that door.
And this psychopath just kept going and chirping. I'm just like, until
Oh.
finally, like the bartender just says, "I don't have time for you," and just walked away.
You got to experience Karen in the wild.
I was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
You got to experience
You see
Karen
how
in the
busy
wild.
you see how busy this bar is right now. You see, there's only 2 of them back there, and now people have to wait for beers and drinks because you want to be a fucking asshole, because you can't sit anywhere, and there's nowhere for you to even fucking sit.
Well, I will say that in that case, it's part of the bar's fault because in that case, if they had a reservation, they should have. But that's not on the bartender.
There is no reservations.
Oh, there isn't a reservation.
No.
Okay. Well, in that,
Bullshit. There
Oh,
is
so
no
she's just
reservation.
lying.
well, in that
bitch.
case, it's not the bar's fault at all. And the bartender, it wouldn't be on them to seat you at a fucking table anyway. They're the bartender.
All they do is like if you wait and you tell like one of the hosts or whatever, they'll text you when the seat becomes available.
Okay, but
and there was nothing available.
But you can't actually put in a reservation.
You were saying this was Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, so Saturday was when the comedy show was.
Yeah.
We walked literally around the block because we were at the Fox, so we were right across the street. The shortest wait time at a bar was almost 2 hours.
Where was it at?
It was at the Fox Theater.
Oh,
so
Fox
we were,
Theater, yeah.
we tried to get into Hockey Town. That
Yeah.
was the shortest wait. Outside of
2
that,
hours?
almost 2 hours, and we got there at 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, this woman's going nuts, and
Yeah.
everybody was fucking
I'm like,
slammed.
you
Yeah.
walk into this place like an hour and a half before the game. You didn't expect this place to be busy?
Yeah.
Are you an idiot?
Like
Yep.
we literally ate before the show. We got into Hockey Town 40 minutes before the
Like,
show
I
started.
would have loved to see
Well,
how you would have dealt with that.
and actually, I would put money on the fact it wouldn't have been that busy for just the hockey game. The fact that the
Well,
concert
yeah,
was
there was
down, or
other
the
shit,
fact
yeah.
the comedy show was
You
down there
had
as well.
2 shows that night.
Right.
There was something going on at the Fillmore.
Right.
Yep.
They were setting up the Stones concert, which was last night at Ford Field.
Now, granted, they pull more of a crowd at the hockey games this year than they did last year. But last year, I went to a game, and I mean, the bars down there weren't like jam packed.
But now it's like you're getting like significantly bigger crowds.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, shit. When we walked in there early because there was some business I wanted to attend to like at said bar. But we walked in there around like 3:30 ish.
You gonna shake them down or something?
No, nothing like that.
some business he wanted to attend to.
I know he made it sound like he had the fucking mob waiting for him in there. He was gonna shake somebody down.
He had to go sit in the corner booth for a second with Guido.
Yeah, that's right.
You know where Huff is at?
I do now.
It's part of the business.
Yeah, right.
That's impressive. I've been
right.
Italian my whole life. Nobody told me.
But like I said, we got down there like 3:30, and it was already busy. And granted, the Michigan game was on. I understand that, but it was already like pretty
Yeah.
busy. So, and you walk in there like an hour and a half before game time, and you didn't expect it to be busy. Like, okay, you are truly a fucking idiot.
Yep.
And I said I would have loved to see how you would have handled that situation. That would have been fun.
If Joe was working, I don't wish I would have seen it.
No, I do wish I would have
If
seen
Joe was you in that situation, I would have loved to have been the guy sitting next to him. Because it probably would have been the funniest 5, 10, 15 minutes that I would have spent around him in a while.
Oh, good stuff. But yeah, those are my my grind my gears for this week.
I like those.
The only position that I really encourage somebody to be in more than a bar manager when shit like that is going around is being the friend of the bar manager when shit like that's going around.
Right.
First thing he'd do, he'd walk up to me. Here's this stuff. I go, okay, I'll hold your stuff. No, pass the stuff off. You got to come. Okay, I'm coming with you. You never know what you're getting yourself into just being friends with the people at a bar.
when I'm gonna hold this up. When this would happen.
Yep.
Oh, you take the watch off?
When this would happen,
Yeah.
that was a telltale sign that something was about to happen. Yeah. And I would always I wouldn't even know I would do it. That would just happen.
I'd
like
look
it would
over,
just be
the watch come off, the chain would start to come off. I knew it was going in my hand, and if it was in my hand, I was either holding it or I was being told to give it to somebody else because I had to go with them.
Nice.
But I only had to go with them usually on like Tuesdays, Wednesdays when there weren't actually people to take care of situations.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, you had a bouncer who would take care of them.
Yeah. Yeah, or a bouncer that would just stand there and watch a chick jump on my back and punch me a bunch of times before as I'm dragging her boyfriend out of the bar with his arm.
This is all entirely true. I was literally sitting in the seat behind the guy he had to drag out.
So I grabbed this guy, I'm dragging him out of the bar. I got his arm basically arm barred behind him, pushing him out, and this chick jumps on my back and starts punching me in the side of the face. And I had to look, while I've got her on me and him in my arms pushing him out, I had to look at my bouncer and go, will you get this bitch off me, please? What are you doing?
Just watching the show, man.
Bro.
Like, I love the bouncers that you guys used to have at that bar, but there were sometimes I'd just sit there and go, okay.
For the most part, they definitely took care of their business, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a story where it was kind of funny. I think he was probably just watching it because it was funny. But, yeah, for the most part, they took care of the business. But that time, I'm like, man, will you get this bitch off me, please?
Hell of a lot better than the first one you had over there.
I'm not. We'll have to talk about that one off the air.
Yep.
Let's talk about that one off the air.
I'm talking about the gentleman who was like, sure, you look old enough. Go ahead. Sure, you look old enough. Go ahead.
Yeah. The guy who, yeah. Well, I mean, we were packed for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Can't say it was legally, but yeah. Anyway, anything else, boys, before we get out of here for the day? It is we're going on an hour and a half tonight.
Yeah. So, we kind of got into some other stuff too.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the show. Do us a favor. Like our social media, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Check out our website, sotdet.com, and check out our fantasy picks. Check out Danny Y's picks, the show picks, confidence picks. Check out Frank's blogs if you haven't checked those out yet. If you haven't, you're missing out on some things. Again, that's sotdet.com. I want to thank everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.